North F4. We are here with Eric Burke, who is the Superintendent for School District of Rhinelander, Mike Cheslack, the Community Education Director, and Bob Tome, Director of Business Services. Thank you guys for coming on and talking to us about a very exciting, important project that's taking place.
Thank you.
April 1st, big day.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yes, so we have an operational referendum in the school district. We're hoping to be able to get a vote for the operational referendum, so we're able to exceed the revenue limit. For the first 2 years, it would be in addition to a referendum that's already in place, and then for the final 2 years, it would be a 4-year referendum. It would be for the final 2 years would be for the full $7 million.
Got it. Okay.
And so, with the, how would you say, how have the previous referendums benefited all the Rhinelander students?
Yeah. So it's really, as far as what we're, the operational referendum is different from a capital project referendum. It's about what it takes to run a school district. So a big part of it is staffing and programs. And we're doing some great things here in the school district. We want to be able to continue that. We've, in the last 5 years, we've hired some excellent staff. We want to keep them and retain them. So we have to make sure we pay them a salary that's competitive with our region. We've also been able to add supports for academic and behavioral needs, and we want to be able to continue that for our students, for our staff, and for our families in the community.
And that costs money, of course. Mike, the Supreme Court election is taking a lot of the bandwidth out of this election, of course. But this is a super important, referendum. Why is this important to you?
Yeah, so just from a community standpoint, our district takes a great deal of pride in connecting the community to our schools. And one of the ways we do that is through the community education program, which entails finding people in our community that have a special interest or passion or hobby or expertise, and offering classes in our buildings in the evenings and weekends. And thousands of our community members have taken part in these classes and have really enjoyed them. And we want to continue to offer that program. Another thing that we do is we offer the Hot Egg Dome facility, which is very well received by our community and used often for walking and pickleball. And
great investment.
Yeah, absolutely. And an indirect way it benefits our community is through the local economy. We have big tournaments, softball tournaments, wrestling tournaments there, and that brings people in. They stay at our
publish the numbers, millions of dollars.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's a really big benefit to our community.
Of course.
And what would you say, what have the challenges been so far?
For
just with this
overall challenges, and maybe Bob can talk a little bit about that, but our state funding formula is not working for many school districts. Last year, there was 140 school districts that had to go to operational referendum. This year, there'll be another 100 school districts. So it's not working, but it's also needed. We need to be able to do this because the state is not giving us the solution. So fortunately, we live in a community that supports our public schools and our private schools, but our schools overall. And maybe Bob has some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think the community's done a great job of supporting us. These referendums have been going all the way back to 2010, and we've been successful ever since then. It's not just us. You see this year it was Tomahawk and Northland Pines and Merrill and Antigo and Three Lakes. Everyone had a referendum. The formula for the Northwoods just isn't that great. If you go back to 2005, the state was paying 43% of the cost of operating our school district, and today it's down to 24%. So as you lose that state funding, you have to have these referendums, and it increases what the local people have to pay. But interestingly, we went back 15 years, the tax levy for the school district was $23 million. And now 15 years later, the tax levy this year was $23.2 million. So the taxes have not really changed. It's just the way the money is shuffled around. And so we need that support in order to maintain the programs that we have currently.
Any chance the state funding could turn around, or is that just depending on upcoming elections down the road?
Yeah, so there's a lot of talk this year. Of course, the state has a huge surplus, over $4 billion. So the governor is proposing to put some of that money into schools. There's lots of competing interests, and there's lots of people saying we don't want to spend any of it, let's give it all back. So the talk right now is that we're at the end of the state budget, so this new one might drag out actually into the fall. So we really don't know where we're going to be funding-wise, even for this upcoming year. So that makes it even more important that we pass this so we have some certainty of where we're at and we can maintain our programs.
And so, of course, it's important, obviously, April 1st, like you mentioned. So April 1st, the voting is going to be taking place. What can people do to, prepare and help out with all of this?
Yeah, I think a big piece of it is just be informed about why we're doing this. Our website has great information. We also have an FAQ section. any kind of questions so you understand the what and the why. Why are we doing this as far as, and how is it different than a capital project referendum that we did last year where we're going to be supporting our trades and our technical education areas? What's different from a capital referendum to an operational referendum?
The messaging here is important. The money goes a long way. The community has been responsive in the past, and I think we'll hopefully do it again this time, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today. Appreciate you all. We will be right back with NAMI after this.